Hello, everybody. So here we are on another interesting day of online school, and I hope that this is useful to you. We're going to try something that I've never done before. I have never walked people through a lesson like this on video with the intent that you would participate from home through TeamViewer. So I know there are a lot of confusing and sticky scenarios going all the way through. So we got to make sure. I'm just trying to make this simple so that if there's a problem, we don't get in over our heads or get too far. But really, today's lesson is going to be kind of covering stuff that we've already done in class before. Remember, we did that practice footage of the climbing through the TV last week or 2 weeks ago. And then we sat down and had a really good chat, and you guys sent me some really good thoughts on what we could do to make that footage better. So I kept all that in mind. My idea for this activity was that we would be coming up with kind of a short film, like a 2 to 3 minute thing with this effect as one of the shots in it. But given that you're not here and I'm all by myself, I had to do all this alone. So I've been running back and forth today, measuring things, setting up lights, pulling lights down, setting up the green screen, taking pictures, all alone. So hopefully this footage comes together and works really well. I've already shared with you the video of what this will look like when it's all finished. But today, we're not going to finish this video. We're going to do about the first half. All right. So we're going to work on that together. And the idea is that with this video, you're going to work through the steps of getting kind of the first half of this effect going, where my character climbs through the TV successfully. So I just want you to remember all of those steps so that when we come back to class, hopefully after spring break, we're going to animate the sliding, that slide that's on the TV. That takes some effort, and then we're going to finish it off by adding in all the sound at the end. But today, we're not going to worry about that. We're primarily going to be in After Effects, okay? So on your computer, I've gone ahead already and put in the folder on everybody's computer. I think I stuck it in the right place. The video or the folder is called 11-Green Screen TV-Remote Editing. Do you see that? Okay, well, anyway, all the files that I'm going to be using today are already there. I thought I'd save a step so you don't have to go online and waste time downloading that stuff. But it is all online in the shared folder. Anyway, if you want it, I don't care, whatever. Just trying to help you. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start by jumping into Premiere Pro. But Mr. Griffin, you just said we were going to do this in After Effects. That's true, I know, but the final render is going to come out of Premiere Pro. And this is, remember, where we're going to finish this off by adding sound. And After Effects is a miserable place to add sound. So we'll just do it in Premiere Pro. Also, my desktop may look different than yours. I know I'm using a Mac. I usually don't edit footage on a Mac a whole lot. This is kind of my backup computer when things go wrong. But this computer has a web camera and a microphone. And so that instantly makes it better for this kind of thing, this kind of teaching. Okay, so just make sure that you stuff your project into the correct spot here. I got to choose the right folder. You're going to have to do the same thing. I'm just calling mine Griffin TV Climb Through. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to as long as you know what it is. Organization is key. We're always generating a lot of files, so we got to make sure that we're staying super organized. Okay, so what we're going to do first here is once Premiere Pro is opened, is I'm going to jump in and grab just the climb through video. That's it. Okay, I don't need anything else. So I'm just going to drop that in. Later on, we'll worry about audio and the rest of it. But for now, this is all we need. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over to the timeline. It's kind of a pain that my video of my face is here. I hope that's not a problem. Let's see, can I move that? Oh, I can move that. Can I make it smaller? A little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we are.
3, 4.
Here I am counting in. This is where in the video that boring lecturer is just talking. I thought that was really funny. I just found a guy lecturing on YouTube and stole the audio. Okay, and that's it. So basically, you don't even have to crop this. It's fine as it is. So then I'm going to right click And we are going to replace with After Effects Comp. This should feel very normal. We've done this many times in class. It should automatically open After Effects. This is so amazing. I can't believe that we're doing this remotely. I hope this is smooth for you, and I hope that you guys give me some feedback as to how this worked remotely, because I know some of you are using, you know, kind of weaker, small scale laptops. And I don't know how steady your internet connection is. I don't know. We'll see. The best thing to do with this is just to try. Just do your best, and if it just doesn't work for you, you'll be a little behind, but that's okay, and I understand. But don't not try, you know. All right, here we go. After Effects is about to load up here. Come on, After Effects. Let's go. I got all my notes here next to me. When I put this video together, I gave myself around 45 minutes to do the entire thing top to bottom. And I was kind of figuring it out. I made some mistakes, backtracked. And it took me 45 minutes total. So remember, we're only doing half of that today. And I now have a system, and I know where all my pitfalls are. So hopefully this goes a little faster, if my After Effects will ever open. It wants to open. I can see it up here. It's funny, I'm recording this video. I don't even know if what you're seeing is the right thing. I might end up having to do this whole thing again. Who knows? Come on, After Effects. I thought I clicked on that. Here we go. All right, great. Of course, remember to save. Save, save, save. I've learned my lesson this year on saving and not saving and what happens. It's sad. It's sad when you don't save. Sure. You can have access to my documents folder. Why not? I don't know what's in there. What you would want. But you're welcome to look. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're thinking of a really awesome spring break. Sure, we'll allow it to Control Finder. All right, so here we go. It should be pulling in. Okay, yeah, great. So it's creating my folder here. My files are on the desktop, so let me go to the correct spot. There it is. Again, I'm using a Mac, so this is going to look a little bit different than what you're seeing. Great, here comes my comp. It's being generated, and getting close. Should pop up right here when it's all set. Oh, where'd you go? You know what, I'm going to minimize Premiere Pro just in case, and we're going to maximize After Effects. I want to make this window go away. I don't know. All right, my computer is still rendering here. This looks so different than what I'm used to. Okay, here it comes. Really what I want here is the effects. I'll put it here. We're not going to be using any of this other stuff, so for me, I'm just going to close these panels. I'm not doing any text, no paragraph. Oh, bye-bye. Not tracking, not today. That's coming for you guys, I hope. We'll get to tracking if we can ever get back to school again, because tracking is fun, but it's kind of hard. All right, here we go. So here's our project. And it looks to me like I'm ready to go. So here we go. So I'm going to put my Finder. And now I need to pull in the TV background layer. And I need to put in, not the music, I'll grab the nightclub video, put that in, and I'll pull the calculus stuff in for now, although we're not going to deal with it today, okay? So there it goes. All right. All right, this feels good. So what I'm going to do first, yeah, and so what's nice about this is that After Effects, because it's a comp based on an asset in Premiere Pro, it's already set our timeline to being the correct length, which is great. All the times I've been editing this on my own today, I've been doing it directly in After Effects, and then you've got to come down here and fiddle with the composition settings and stretch all this out, but we don't have to do that if you go through Premiere Pro. Awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my TV background layer, and guess what? I'm going to put it on the bottom down here. And we can't see that TV layer, obviously, because my video layer is on the top. So I'm going to hide the top layer. And yep, look at this. This is way too ginormous. So I'm going to scale this down until I get, I don't know, about 36%. And then I'm going to nudge this down a little bit because I want to see the top edge of the TV. That's important to me because it kind of sells the effect that I'm really climbing in and out of a TV. And when you see the party happening in there, but it's cut off by the mask of the TV, I think that looks really good. Okay, I'm going to hide this. There we go, a little more screen real estate. One thing that's bothering me here is that this shot was not straight on, or my TV was a little askew, something here. So I'm going to try rotating this back. I don't remember the number that I sent. Oh, I went the wrong way. I always guess the opposite. Okay, 0.7. All right, so on my TV background layer, it looks like rotating at 0.7 of a degree kind of levels this out along the top. It's an aesthetic thing. I think it's going to look better when we slide that graphic to the side, that this is kind of more straight on. It's going to sell that effect a little bit better. All right, then I'm going to add in my top layer, and we are going to adjust this so that it matches the layer underneath it. So I'm going to turn it back on by clicking on the eyeball. Then we're going to go to Transform, and I'm going to pull the opacity down so I can see it. Now, I'm not going to adjust the scale in this. I wanted to be really careful when I shot it this time because one of your suggestions was that we keep the distance between the lens and the TV the exact same length for both the photo shoot and the video shoot in order to maintain kind of that ratio looking right. And so all I'm going to do for this top layer is I'm going to use the position and I'm going to nudge it down so that my waist right here kind of kisses the bottom of that screen area, not the bottom of the TV. Remember, there's that bevel of the TV, and the screen is on that top layer. So I'm just pulling the cutoff down to where the edge of the screen is. And you know what? This looks a little askew to, well, here. Does it? Okay, I'm going to zoom way in to have a look. Actually, that looks pretty good. It's just anytime where I'm interacting with the edge of the TV, I want to make sure that that line looks good. Okay, anytime I'm reaching over or my leg goes over, if there's a gap there, it's gonna look weird. Again, it's not gonna sell the effect. Oh, that's too far away. See, there's too much of a gap. So I'm gonna pull that down. There we go. I think that looks good. We can always come back and fix this later. But for now, I think that is okay. Okay, let me just check my notes, make sure that we are good. Looks good. Okay, I'm going to save this right now just to make sure I've got it. All right, now we're going to start on the compositing part. And I'm going to make a second copy of this top video layer. Now that we've kind of got it where we want it to be, the alignment's good, it's balanced nicely against the background. So now we want to make a copy. And I set my opacity down earlier. I'm going to put it back up to 100. Okay. And here we go. Do you guys remember how to make a copy of something? It is Control D makes a copy of a layer. All right, so now I have my two layers. I'm going to hide this top layer. And so this first layer here, this is what I'm going to set as the TV layer. So I'm going to actually rename this Griffin Climb Through Video -TV mask. And then the one above it, I'm going to call bottom mask. Just when I'm looking at it quickly, it's fine. Okay, so here we go. TV mask. On this layer, this should be easy. This should go right back to the things that we've talked about in this class many times before. So I'm going to come up, I'm going to grab the pen tool, and I'm going to just do a general clicking in of where I think the TV is. I'm going to adjust these points later on. Okay, see, so there you go. I was way off, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to zoom in and really try to pull these points down again into the corners of the actual screen. You don't want to go the width of the TV because we want to maintain that bevel edge. Okay, let's come up here to the top. And you can see that this is the top of the video layer right here. We're pushing it down, but it doesn't matter, right? Because we're going to screen this out. So it doesn't matter. All right. Looking good. If you were pro at this, this is the time when you would want to be doing a color correction. We're not going to worry about color correction on this. We are just going to go for the mask. All right, so on this layer, we've created our mask, and now it is time to add the key light. So I'm going to come down here, go to Effect, Keying, Key Light. You guys remember this, right? Eyedropper. Go away. And I kind of want to pick a green that's neutral, not too dark, not too light. So I'm going to pick something about there. Ugh. That doesn't look great, but no big deal. So I'm going to come to the view, go to the screen matte. Okay, remember this? We want the blacks black and the whites white. So I'm going to come down and twirl down screen matte, and I'm going to lift that black number until the blacks go really black. Good. So I'm getting about a 26 on that. And then I'm going to push the whites down until everything in my mask layer is really white. I was wearing blue jeans today. That probably wasn't super smart because blue is similar to green. Mr. Griffin, what were you doing? But it's okay. We can get a fairly decent mask here. And now I'll come up here to final result. And there we go. Okay, we're on. This is going to happen. And yeah, you can see a bunch of reflection back here. But remember, all this is going to go away when we put that graphic, that dorky calculus graphic on there. So I don't really care what this looks like in the back for now. This is fine. Okay, feeling good. Great. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, but with the top layer as our bottom mask this time. Okay, so let me push this back out to 50. We're going to leave the chair here in the frame. So let me grab my pen tool. Again, we're just taking a guess at where the edges are. Boop, boop, boop. Here, okay, yep. Oh, that was close-ish. I'm gonna drag these out. We do actually want this mask to kind of get really close and even go over the edge of the top mask. That's okay, that's fine. So I'm going to zoom way in here, and I just really want to make sure that I get this line right on the edge. Okay, that looks pretty good. And here we go. Let's key this, all right? Actually, I'm going to scrub the timeline up to a point where I'm standing in front of it, just so I get a little more shadow, a little bit more variance in the colors. Just something else to help me create my matte. Okay, here we go. Effect. Keying, key light, and I'm going to grab the eyedropper, go for kind of a neutral green. Yeah, I know there's shadow here. I worked on the lights trying to fix some of this shadow. That's the best I could do. I know somebody's going to crab at me about that, but that's the best I can do, okay? All right, twirl this down, go to screen matte. Let's really clean this up. Twirl down screen matte, and we're going to push up the blacks again. Really are looking for the first place where those blacks go really black, and then we're going to push down the whites. You're going to see some grayness in the back of the chair and some grayness on my pants. All right, so I'm getting about a 19 on blacks and 89 on whites. That's pretty good. All right, we'll come back up here and go back to final result. Got it? If you are getting a line going through my body right here, do you remember what that's all about? It means that your masks, there's a slight gap in your masks. So probably your bottom mask, it's better to lift it up just a little bit, a few pixel lines, than the top mask down. But there should be no line here. So if you're getting a line, go back and fix that mask. It's an easy thing to do. Just jump back in there and make that adjustment. All right, cool. So this is looking pretty darn good. If you're getting to this point, you're getting there. We only have one more thing that we're going to do. We are going to add the video layer for the party. Okay, so let's pull this ahead. Now, the party actually doesn't get revealed until my hands come across and move that screen in front of me. So we don't have to worry about putting the party up here at the front at all. So just move your playhead up to about the point where I start to move my hands up there, and that's where we're going to drop it in. Let me twirl this down. Right now I only have 3 layers. That's it. Eventually there'll be about a million layers here, but right now there's only 3. So I'm going to go back to my project. If you can't see the project up here, I'm going to click these little double arrows and go to project. Now I'm going to grab the nightclub video, and I'm going to drag this between the Griffin climb through layers and the background. Okay. And look, it's a really short clip. Oh no, what are we going to do? Don't worry, I have a plan for that. So I'm going to pull this over into place. And now we need to resize it. We need to size this up for the TV, okay? So I looked at this for a long time trying to figure out, like, if I was actually in a room inside the TV in a party, what would that look like exactly? You know, where would I be in relation to the people on the inside? I don't really remember my numbers exactly. Whoa. But let's just go about here. Again, we can always fix this later. All right. And now the last thing that we need to do is to put a mask on this layer, right? So it looks like it's inside the TV. So it has to fit around the edge of where the screen is for the TV. And this is the last step that we're going to do before we duplicate this layer a bunch of times. So make sure you do it now, because once you duplicate, then you'd have to do all those exact adjustments again for every single layer. And that's a pain. So here we go. Our same old masking tool, that pen tool, we're going to come up here and click on it. I'm just going to take a guess at where the corners are on this screen. Done. All right, now we're going to zoom in. No, I'm going to zoom into 200 this time. I just feel like that is good. And I'm going to grab this corner. And man, this has got to be money right in the corner. We really want to sell this effect. Remember, I'm holding down the space bar to switch to the hand tool. When I hold the space bar down, then I can click and drag and move the screen. If you're dealing with a scroll wheel, you can scroll in and out to move things. Ooh. All right, last corner. Okay, I'm going to save. Forget to save. All right, great. So now inside this area, it should look pretty good, like I'm partying. And one thing that I really like about this clip is that it loops itself pretty well. It kind of starts and stops in a similar looking style. And because it's like flashing lights, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so now the TV goes blank here. So we have to replicate this. I know somebody, probably Max, is going to say, why can't I just extend this, you know, do a time stretch? And that's an idea. That's something you can do. But imagine what it's going to look like for all the people who are partying inside that background scene. They're going to be moving really slowly. So we don't want that. We want this party slamming and people moving around. So we're just going to duplicate this layer a bunch of times. Okay, I'm going to move my head over here. And here we go. So with this video layer selected, I'm going to press Control D. a bunch of times. And now I'm going to drag these out so they kind of overlap a frame or two. Boop, overlap a frame or two. Boop, boop, boop. And what we want is a continuous video so that when it's going, there are no gaps there. I don't want it to cut to a black screen. I want to be really careful about this. Okay, and then when I climb back into the TV and close the thing, boop, that's where we can end, right here. So look, I've got to duplicate a few more times. So Command D, or Control D, sorry. Over, and oh, I'm not going to quite get it there. So I'm going to do one more, slide it over, and boop, there we go. Okay, so our tutorial is about done. Thank goodness, right? You should have a video that looks something like this. Let me zoom out here a little bit. Come on. Come on now. These are our layers. 2 Griffin climb throughs, and all of these nightclub videos with the TV background in the back. If you've gotten this far, you've done a great job. Go ahead and hit File and Save. When you're done, if you would please just send me a quick email and let me know if you thought that this was smooth, if this was okay to keep editing. Remember that we don't know if we're coming back to school again when we come back, like coming back physically to school. So if this is a disaster and really hard for you, I need to know that so that we can find an alternate plan. I don't know what that would be, but it gives me some time to think about that and worry about that. If this was smooth for you, great. Then we'll continue lessons like this, kind of at a slower pace. I know this is tricky. You're probably watching this video on another device while you're editing on a computer. It's a lot to take in. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's it for now. Let me see if I can figure out how to shut off this, this stream. And I think we're good. All right, write me if you have any questions. I'll be sitting in the lab during class time, so if you have any questions, reach out to me and I can help you right there. In fact, I could even jump on your computer while you're there and show you directly on your computer through TeamViewer. All right, so if you have questions, write me. Bye. Have good luck editing. You can do it.